Hi everybody, it's me, Angel Benton. Sorry for the little bit of a late start this morning. I had to work really late last night, so I didn't get. I got up literally like 15 minutes before, like 9:45. So I apologize for the slightly late start. So I apologize for that. I'm currently in Santa Ynez, California, beautiful Santa Ynez, California, at the casino here, and okay, so Dancing for Relevancy, I love it. You know, I love me some Dancing with the Stars and Strictly Come Dancing. You know, I do have to also apologize. I'm just constantly saying I'm sorry, I'm sorry. See, I did it again. Um, I also want to apologize for the fact that last week, in the middle of talking about Strictly Come Dancing, my phone lost power. So that's why there was an abrupt end to the show last week. So I'm going to spend a little bit more time today talking about Strictly Come Dancing because I didn't really get to, discuss everything that happened the 2 weeks ago, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, so we're going to start with Dancing with the Stars. So Dancing with the Stars this week was good. It was Trios Night. Now, you know, Trios Night is one of my absolute favorite nights of the year. Although, for the fall season, I've got to say Trios Night, remarkably enough, comes in third. Because my favorite night is Disney Night, and that's next week, so I'm very excited about that. And then my second favorite night would be Halloween, which is in 2 weeks. So I do enjoy Trio Night though. So and that's only in the fall season. It's my second favorite in the regular season. So and also with trios, they loosen up the rules in terms of like the ballroom dances. They don't have to be like strict ballroom. Although I'm finding that they're kind of loosening those up as years go by anyways, So now what's interesting is that when they first started the trio night, excuse me, when they first started the trio night, they had, you had to eat, first of all, it was much later in the season. It was like 3 weeks before the end, right? As opposed to 3 weeks after the beginning. So there were a lot fewer contestants, and there had been quite a few more pros that had been eliminated. So their trio, they got to select from either someone that is in the troupe or someone that has been an eliminated pro. So, that's cool. That's really super cool. I'm trying to give you guys some good posture here. It's not easy. Not for me. I'm Mr. Slouch King, I swear. Okay. So what's interesting this week is that they have they have people that have won the show coming back. And actually, in a way, that's kind of good because I do like seeing the former contestants come back. So, for example, we had Joey Fatone. Now, okay, wait. Here's the thing. Some of those people, some of the pros, I don't really understand, like, not the pros, some of the stars, I don't understand why they got some of the trio people that they did. Like, these are people who are established in their industry. Surely they must know somebody because, like, a lot of them, like, we're just meeting for the very first time. So it's like, okay, so I'm wondering if the producers are the ones who put all these people together. And if they are, man, let's just go right into it because it's Grocery Store Joe. Now, we all know that Grocery Store Joe is kind of at the bottom in terms of ability compared to everybody else. Everyone else is kind of farther ahead than he is. And, excuse me. And the thing is, they gave him a partner, also popular from Bachelorette and Bachelor Nation, I guess, or Bachelor Paradise. I don't know, whatever the hell it is. His name is Jordan Kimball. And they, and he's cute, you know. I was like, okay, that's fine, that's whatever, okay. And then they rehearsed, and I'm just thinking, this guy can't dance either. And then they did their routine, and the guy ended up trying to take off they were trying to take off their shirts. One of Grocery Store Joe actually was able to take his off just fine, but Jordan was not able to take it off. So then he had this like flowing white dress, which was really just a shirt, but it was like flowing behind him, and he had that for like the entire routine. And of course and then of course it throws him off, and then he's like, I mean, like, it's, and the judges, God bless the judges. I fucking love the judges, because I swear to God, they're like, okay, so that was interesting. Like, they're trying to be nice, but it's like, yeah, they're not super thrilled with that. I loved it. It cracked me up. Okay. I'm just saying, it was really funny. And they gave him 5s. So he got 15. So this is like week 4, and he's getting 5s. I mean, it's time for him to go. But the reality is, he's got a huge fan base. I don't know why. It really makes me really, like, don't get me wrong, he's a very sweet guy, I'm sure. It just, the fact that that show has got such a cult following is like, it's so ridiculous. Like, how can, like, I know, I need to just, that's one of my get off my lawn moments, because I swear to God, it doesn't make any sense to me at all why so many people like, my little sister's one of them. She loves The Bachelor Nation. Like, she fucking loves it. It drives me crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was great when it first started. It was a great show, but then, you know, I would say like maybe after like 6 seasons, it probably should have been done, right? And now they just keep, oh God, I can't take it. Okay. Anyways, so to kind of prove that he's got such a big following, he doesn't have, he wasn't even in the bottom 2, which was interesting. I found that to be very interesting. And I'm sure the judges are fucking pissed. I mean, because it's kind of like there comes a point in the competition, because I don't know exactly how the producers do it. Obviously, the viewers hold a lot of clout in terms of their vote, which is very interesting, because let me tell you how they do things in England on Strictly Come Dancing, which is kind of different. In England, they literally, so what they do is they tape their show on Saturday night, their live show, like we do on Mondays. Now, they have a results show that they don't have. Or they have a results show that we don't have here in the United States anymore. We used to have a results show, but now we don't. We just have one. So what we do is they open up their phone lines for like 2 hours, and that's it. Done. And what's interesting about that is, because England is such a small country, you know, they're able to get all their phone votes within an hour. I don't necessarily think that would work here in the United States, just because the United States is huge. Like, England's like the size of California. So, okay, that makes sense. Like, if they can close it after a couple hours, and then everything is fine. They'd be able to get all their votes. But we stretch 3-4 different time zones. It would be a little much. So what they do is they open their phone votes, and then they tally up the phone votes literally like right there on the spot, and they tell you who the bottom 2 are. And then the bottom 2 then what happens is, after they've done taping their Saturday night show, then about 2.5 hours later, they will tape their Sunday show on Saturday night. That's why, if you ever watch Strictly Come Dancing, or you follow any of the groups from Strictly Come Dancing, they always have a Strictly spoiler, because they know who went home, because they have plants in the audience that know who went home that week. So that's why they always tell you. So they film their results show, and then they had the bottom 2 contestants do a dance off, and then the judges pick who they want to stay. And in a way, that's good, because first of all, it's good because it doesn't give any one person too much power. Like, the crowd has the ability to vote who they want the bottom 2 to be. Okay? The judges don't have the ability to select who deserves to be in the bottom 2. They just have the ability to pick who they want out of the bottom 2 to stay. So in a way, I kind of wish that they would do that here in the United States, but because we don't have a results show, I don't think that we can. So that is unfortunate. Because it does, I do feel like, you know, he's got a large fan base, and so they're having him stay. And even he is kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, okay. So let's also talk about another trio on Trios Week. Okay, so Maddie Ziegler, you know Maddie from Dance Moms and the Sea of Videos and all that. And she basically this week, what happened was she ended up dancing with Alexis and Alan, which you know I love. I love Alan. I love Alan for putting up with both of those girls, to be honest with you. What was great was that remember how last week Alexis and Alan, I wanted them to get eliminated last week because then we wouldn't have to see her. That would have been hilarious. I really would have died if that happened. That would have been so great, but it didn't, of course, because America's not as sick and twisted and perverse as me in terms of their sense of humor. I did read on Facebook that having a dark sense of humor is a sign of dementia. So I could be losing it right now as we speak. Whatever. I mean, if you think about it, I'm sitting here talking to my telephone, like. And there's no one out there right now. Okay. It kills me. All right. So Maddie and Alexis and Alan, they danced and they did fine. They did okay, but it felt to me like they were all dancing like soloists. They were not being a cohesive unit. And God damn it, if Carrie Ann Inaba that was not the first thing that came out of her mouth. She was like, it was fine, but it just felt like you were three soloists and you weren't dancing together. And I was like, yes, girl. Then I'm glad someone says it, you know. But it's true. It's true. If you think about it, you know, Maddie, who grew up in Abbey Lee Dance Company, always being featured, always being the soloist. Like, she was the soloist in that group, you know. And as much as I hate it, it's true, because that's one of the reasons why I love me some Chloe so much, because she always got shit on, and she was just as good, if not better, than Maddie, unless they have outside people involved. Like when her and Maddie both auditioned for that ballet company, Chloe got it and Maddie didn't, because she's fierce. So I just feel like Maddie constantly has all this attention and jobs thrust upon her, and you know, I don't think she's I don't think she's learned how to be a ensemble member or a trio member, or you know what I mean, like how to even be a partner dancer, because they're all three soloists, you know. Alexis Brent's the ballet dancer, and then Alan is great, but I mean, if he's got two people that aren't paying attention to him, he's going to obviously do what he wants to do. So, you know, we'll see what happens. My Twitter is going off right now because I'm getting a lot of Strictly Come Dancing stats come through, so that's kind of cool. All right, so they did their trio. It was okay. It was okay. So then, okay, they had John Schneider and Emma. They did a trio with Joey Fatone. So he didn't know Joey. Was it him and Joey? Hold on one second. Let me get my iPad and find out. Oh, sorry. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. Oh. Okay, let's try that. There we go. Come on now. Okay, let me kind of see. Can I tighten this up a little? Yeah, okay, there we go. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so let's look up Dancing with the Stars here real quick. Okay, got it. All right. So, Joey Fatone was with John and Emma. Now, this is what I don't understand about that. So, Joey didn't know John, so he comes out and he dances with John, okay? And Joey didn't really know Emma, really. I mean, he did dance in the All-Star season, and I think Emma was in that as well, but I don't think she was his partner. He was with someone else. So I just don't quite understand what their connection is. So okay. So that was kind of random. And then we've got Tinashe and Brandon danced with Amy Purdy. Now, Amy Purdy is the chick with no feet who came in second place on Dancing with the Stars, which is Derek Huff. I bow down to you. You are so fierce. And she didn't know Tinashe or Brandon. Like, I mean, like, you know, so Ivana and Keo, they had a chick named Scarlett Byrne who was in the Harry Potter movies with Ivana, and they got along great. They knew each other. They danced great together. They were really, that one actually made sense. That one made perfect sense. Juan Pablo and Cheryl, they danced with Melissa Rycroft, who was from, she's the winner of the All-Star season, and she was also from like season like 7 or something like that. But the thing about Melissa is that I can see her being friends with Cheryl. Cheryl's been on the show for like 21, well, it hasn't even been on that long, but she's been on the show for 21 seasons out of 27. So it makes sense why she would at least know Cheryl. That makes sense, okay? And then DeMarcus and Lindsay, they had Rashad Jennings. So this week they had an injury on the show. DeMarcus did. And maybe I missed it, but if he sees Rashad, who was the champion, he's like 3 seasons ago, he was the #1 dancer on Dancing with the Stars, and he still is really, he's a really good dancer. Like, in a way, I felt like he didn't do DeMarcus any favors because he showed DeMarcus kind of where DeMarcus should be. You know what I mean? DeMarcus was great, don't get me wrong, but he just wasn't up to that same level that Rashad was at. So, that's why I think this trio week just came a little too early. Like, I think that they should have, you know, done it closer to the end, but it's not my show. Mary Lou Retton, she had Nastia Liukin. What? And she, they're both gymnasts. They know each other. So that made sense. That made perfect sense. And then another one, no sense. Riker Lynch teamed up with Milo and Whitney. Now, the thing about Milo and Whitney, they are pretty fucking good. They're pretty good. They're getting it. Like, I was hella impressed with them this past week. And Riker did a great job too, but it just seemed kind of random. Like, they didn't know each other. So it's like, why? Okay. And then Bobby Bones, a lot of people are pissed off that Bobby Bones is still in the competition too. I think, A, Bobby Bones is a better dancer than Grocery Store Joe, I'm just saying. And B, I feel like he had another random, Lindsay Sterling. Like, so Lindsay also came in second on Dancing with the Stars. And so we know that she's got a close relationship with the show, but her partner was Mark Ballas, not Sharna. So it just makes, and she doesn't know Bobby Bones. So I'm just thinking, what is going on with these trios? They're so random. Like, sometimes they're great random, and sometimes they're like, oh my God, what am I watching, right? And because they can be a little bit more freestyle, that's good, especially for Grocery Store Joe, obviously. But yeah, it was okay. Now, spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you all who went home. So this is what has everyone in an uproar about who went home. Who went home was Brandon Tinashe. Like, the person who was at the top of the leaderboard on week 1 went home. Now, that's not the first time that this has happened. Many times, people who show a lot of talent end up going home because they don't have the fan votes. For example, what's her name from Glee? Heather Morris from Glee, who played Britney Pierce. Brittany Peer, I know, it's so crazy. The Cheerio on Glee, you know, she went home early because her and Max got voted off, and I'm sure Max was probably thinking, "All right, I finally got a winner. We're gonna do great." And then no, no, they sure didn't. Public made sure of that. Okay. So next week is Disney Week. I'm super, super excited about Disney Week. I cannot wait for Disney Week to come. I just like seeing all what the stars and the pros, like what they have in their creative bag of tricks for Disney Week, because they always pull out all the stops. And one other thing I love about Disney Week obviously, first of all, they don't have it in England, which I don't understand, because they need to have Disney Week in England because everyone would love it. It's hugely popular. One thing that do I have bags under my eyes? It's because I just woke up. I apologize. I look like a hot mess. So I love Disney Night because we get to see like creative interpretations of the numbers that they have, and also I enjoy that they do it on their tour. Every year they do a whole big Disney section. So I love it. I love Disney Night. I can't wait for next week. That's my favorite week of the whole show. Okay. Now we're gonna go to Dancing with the Stars Juniors. So I should probably pull it up on my iPad so I can have my cheat sheet. Okay. So Dancing with the Stars Junior. Week 2. Okay. So the theme on Dancing with the Stars Juniors this week was songs from the year that I was born. Of course, that did nothing but make the audience feel super old. So we had Mackenzie Ziegler, who is Maddie's little sister, who is slightly more likable, but she comes in. This is what I find very strange. She was on Dance Moms 2 forever, right? From the very beginning, except for the last season. She wasn't on the last season because her and no, she wasn't on the last 2 seasons because her and Maddie had already left the show at that point. So she comes back as a pro because she's a singer. Okay, I mean, she is a singer. She's a vocalist, but she's not like, she's famous for being on Dance Moms. Okay, and then they have another girl from Dance Moms, Eliana, who's fierce. FYI, I'm working with this chick here at this casino, and she looks just like Eliana's mom, like just like her. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I love Eliana. I love her. I think she's fantastic. So she's incredible, and she's a pro. So it just makes me wonder. It's like, okay. So her and Sage did "Are You Gonna Be My Girl" by Jet. What year did that come out? I don't know. It was like all these people were born after like 2000. So it just makes me like, oh my god. Yeah, and then okay, but they did great. They did fine. But you expect them to do fine because she's a fantastic dancer. So you're like, okay, well, that's good that she's, living up to her potential, I guess. So then what happened was they had Sky Brown, who is the cute little Japanese skateboarder girl, and they had her dancing with JT Church. Now, I love me some JT Church. I really do. He's so fierce. And the two of them, they came out and they let you have it. They were so fierce. I was like, oh shit. Okay, all right. They came to play today. All right. Great. Cool. Yeah, that was super, super cool. I was not expecting that at all. So they were great. They did phenomenal. Then they had... let's see, Sophia and Jake. I don't even know who that is. Who is Sophia and Jake? Hold on. Oh, so okay, so Jake is the pro, Sophia Pippin. Okay, got it. So they did a love song. Here's the thing about that. So for Dancing with the Stars juniors, they do a different kind of voting because it's already been taped. Like this was taped months ago, so we already know who even won the show. If you want to Google around, you can find out. So in order for the audience to have any sort of voting in the actual who gets to stay, who gets to go home, they just open it up just to the audience that's in the ballroom that night. Because obviously they could open it up to America, but it would really expose that it doesn't matter because it's already been taped. You know what I mean? So it would be pretty pointless. So they tell the audience in the ballroom to vote. Now, there were a couple routines that were good. They just weren't up to the level because literally every single other contestant, no matter how big or small they were, they did so good. Like it really, I hate to say this, and this is totally true, but I feel like the children on Dancing with the Stars juniors are even better than the adults on Dancing with the Stars this year. It's really true. I really think that. It's really kind of crazy. Okay, so the two routines that I thought were kind of lacking were Sophia and Jake, and then also Mandla and Brighton. And Mandla is Stevie Morris's son. I mean, they were fine, but it was just like, okay, everyone else is like just dancing for Jesus. They are giving it to you, and they were not, and they were good, but they were just weren't. The fire wasn't there between the two of them. And you know who else wasn't? The next one up in terms of not that great would be Honey Boo Boo and Tristan. So Olana Thompson, so AKA Honey Boo Boo. She gets very, very now the thing about Alana or Honey Boo Boo is that you can tell she's just so excited to be there that she just comes out and she just starts shaking, you know, and they put her in Fringe this week, which was fine. But what Fringe does is Fringe actually highlights every single time that you shake, like a lot. So, and because she was just like, she wasn't like shaking like I'm so nervous I'm shaking, but she was like, I'm so excited, and you know, like go-go juice. Like she just had some go-go juice. Excuse me. So, she needs to bring that in a little bit. She needs to bring that in a little bit. That's why her dance was not that great either, because, you know, she was all over the place. Everyone else, though, so good. So good. So we have Ariana and Ardion. They did, let's see, they did, Ariana. They did Girlfriend, Avril Lavigne. They were the last ones they closed out the show. They did so good. They did great, too. They were really good. And then they have, let's see, who else? They have Jason, Eliana, and Eliana. And I think Jason, what does Jason do? He's Jason Maybaum. So he's on some show called Raven's Home. I guess he's a Disney actor. And he did really good. Like he's the little smaller children on the show. So there's him. There is Akash Vakoti. He's the spelling bee champion. The thing about, they are really showing up. Like they came and they put on their dancing shoes and they are getting it. And neither one of them has any dance experience before. So it's really impressive. That's kind of why also, like, I don't think that Mandla or Sophia have that much dancing experience either, but they're not showing up like everyone else is. You know what I mean? So so I would have chosen to send either one of them home, but they weren't. They stayed. They're here next week. The one who went home, unfortunately, was Hudson West from General Hospital. And it was so sad, too, because he was totally crying. And it's just... What's interesting about Hudson, I've watched him for years on General Hospital. So the thing about Hudson that is so interesting is that when he acts, he does such a good job that you think he's a grown up. Like, I mean, like he does as good of a job as the grown ups on the show. And so he's still a little kid. He's still only like 10 years old. And the thing is, like, his year he was born was like 2008. And I'm thinking, oh my God. I was living in no, I wasn't. I was in California at that time. It was the next year that I moved to Las Vegas. But I mean, that's kind of crazy. And when he started crying when he got let go, I mean, I've seen grown-ups cry on the show. It's not like I'm capping on him for crying. It just shows how much he really wanted it and how much he was enjoying himself. So I'm definitely not giving him shit about that show of emotion, because he should have. It's great. He did fantastic. And he shouldn't have gone home, to be honest with you, Now, he's not the best, technically, but he's nowhere close to the bottom. So I was kind of disappointed in that. And then there's Miles and Riley, and let's see, who are they? Who is Oh, yeah. Miles was in Blackish. Oh, he's in Blackish. Yeah. They did really good. They did a Gavin DeGraw song. So, like, all of these songs that came out the year they were born, I mean, like, I remember all of them. I'm like, now what they need to do is they need to do a song from the year you were born for the grown-ups. Because then you'd have a much more wider variety, because they have lots of people from lots of different ages. So, like, the song that was popular when John Schneider was born is going to be way different than the song that was popular when Ivana Lynch was born, because there's a huge time gap between the two of them. You know what I mean? Whereas all of these are from the early 2000s, and I'm going, oh my God, I'm so old. Let's see, who else? And then, yeah, that was pretty much it. That's everyone on the show. So, they did fine, and then we'll see. Next week they're having this big 2-night Disney thing. So night one's going to be Dancing with the Stars Juniors. They start off Disney Week next week. And then Monday on Dancing with the Stars, they're also doing Disney Week. I'm really looking forward to it. It should be great. And if past behavior is any indication of future behavior, the kids are going to probably be better than the grown-ups. I'm just saying. The grown-ups this season, some of them are great, but I mean, as a whole, they're nowhere close to being as good as the kids. I'm sorry, the kids are fucking fierce. They really let you have it. I mean, this week, I was watching the show this week, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, damn, okay, shit. I mean, it's impressive. It's impressive. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go across the pond once again, and I want to talk a little bit about Strictly Come Dancing. I'm not going to talk a little bit. I'm going to talk actually a lot about Strictly Come Dancing, because we're going to talk about the show in general, and then actually this past week. Now, this week on Strictly, let's see, I think this is week 4. Okay, so they didn't have like a special week this week. Last week, was movie week. That was the week that Faye and Giovanni did the quick step, and they looked like Grease. I mean, they both looked so like John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. It wasn't even funny. So they did. So this week was just a regular week. They were just doing regular dances. Faye and Giovanni, they did a rumba to Chandelier by Sia. Thank God that they didn't have Maddie come for that. They did fine, but they didn't get the same. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I am one of Faye's biggest fans. She's my favorite member of Steps. I love all of Steps, but I just love Faye the best. So what is interesting is that the rumba is a very difficult dance if you're a female star to pull off, because if you're a male pro, the rumba is really supposed to be showing off the man. It's supposed to be about the guy. I mean, it's very sensual, very fluid, and it's kind of, if you're a pro, you know, you're definitely used to, if you're a pro male, you're definitely used to kind of taking a back seat in the show because you want to showcase your star. And when they don't, that's when they get what I call MBS or Mark Ballas syndrome, when they're totally like out dancing their celebrity. And it's like, okay, they're all looking at you and not the celebrity, and that's not good. So Giovanni kind of stepped back a little, and I felt like the rumba sort of suffered a little bit for that. I mean, they did great. They were like what, second or third on the leaderboard. They were not. They did fantastic. What was their score? 29. 29 out of 40. So they got 3 7s and an 8. Okay. So, but still, she was nowhere near danger of going home. So she gets to live and fight another week. Good for you, Faye. I'm rooting for you. And then we've got, let's see, who else is it? Okay, so Ashley and Pasha, they did a tango to Look What You Made Me Do, and it was great. Now, what I'm loving about Ashley is that she's someone who comes with all this dance background. She was in the Pussycat Dolls, and I know that she's going to say, oh, well, it's not the same thing. Okay, bullshit. That's great. It's not the same thing, but it's close. I mean, like, that's like saying, like, you know, if I had, I can't think of a good analogy, but, sorry. But that's kind of ridiculous that she says that, but okay, whatever. So she when she danced, she ended up kind of at the top of the leaderboard, kind of. So they had her she got 4 8s, so she did 32 out of 40. Now, one thing that I find interesting is that as much as I love the American judges on Dancing with the Stars, and I love Len, I love Carrie Ann, I love Bruno, I feel like the judges in England are a little more harsh with their scoring, or maybe we're just a little too generous with our scoring, because like I guarantee you, if Grocery Store Joe had performed for Strictly, if the Strictly judges had done that, I guarantee you Craig Revel Horwood would have given that bitch a 1. You know, and Len gave him a 5, but I mean, and that was like, because at this week in the show, it's really ridiculous that you're getting 5 still, but yeah, it was not good. So, and you know, in England, they would not give a shit about your feelings. They would tell you, yeah, that was a 1. It cracked me up. It's really funny. So, okay. So they finished at 32, and it was great. But then out comes Stacey Dooley and Kevin Clifton. I've got to give her props, because these past 2 weeks, she's came to play. Like 3 weeks ago, she was okay. She wasn't that great. All it took was 1 week of bad commentary, and that bitch is just fucking getting it. So this week, she got 33. She got 3 8s and a 9. So that's kind of impressive. That's super impressive. Like, she's doing such a good job. Excuse me. And what's interesting, what I found interesting, so you know last week, there was a big drama about Sean and Katya, how they had a kiss, okay? And they had a public snog. And even though Sean's relationship ended because of it, Katya is like, that was just me being drunk, and that has no bearing on my relationship with my husband. You know, we're fine. Okay. But people were pissed. Now, here's the thing about England, which I find so interesting, is that people are fucking, they were like, that was all anyone could talk about all week last week was Sean and Katya, the Strictly curse. I mean, even Gleb from Dancing with the Stars, who has also done Strictly a few years, they were like, he was like, I didn't believe in the Strictly curse until now. So I don't necessarily know if I believe that, but okay. But what I find interesting is that people like Charles Venn, whose partner is Karen Clifton, for whatever reason, people don't like Karen Clifton either. I don't know. I don't understand that personally, but I also don't know. I mean, this is my first year watching the show, so I don't really know the history of that. I know that she was married to Kevin Clifton, who is hugely popular and super cute. So, and apparently there was some sort of cheating scandal where she cheated on him and she's going to therapy for it, I guess. I don't know. It just doesn't, I mean, I don't understand the vitriol a lot of people have for her. I don't get it. She doesn't strike me as being like a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't strike me as being like someone you wouldn't want to work with. So it's one of those instances where I think, okay, maybe England is kind of overreacting on her a little bit. But she was in the bottom two this week. And the other one in the bottom two was Katie and Gorka. You know, it's tough because she's trying really hard and she's doing a very good job. She's another one with no dance experience. And so, you know, but because of she's got a very limited range of motion because of this. She was the one that had all the acid thrown on her, and then she had this reality show how she's fighting back and taking her life back and doing a really great. I mean, like she's an inspiring story for sure. But because of the skin grafts, she has a limited range of motion. You know, she can't do as much as like so. Whereas someone else can really do their arms with the port bra, she can't do the whole thing. So it's kind of frustrating. And, you know, I guess it was probably time for her to go home. Now, personally, I think that she could have lasted a couple more weeks. I'm surprised. I knew Charles would be in the bottom two. I knew he would. I can tell you right now, like, he needs to be careful because this week, like, he's been in the bottom 2 weeks in a row. So it makes me wonder, like, okay, TikTok, right? I thought for sure Sean and Katya would have been in the bottom 2 this week, but they weren't. They did decent. During movie week, they did a Matrix number, and they were pretty good. So I guess those people actually voted for him in terms of that. So, or maybe he's just got a very large. No, but he was in the bottom 2 in the beginning. So, So we'll see what happens. Okay. So then there is who else is on? Oh, okay. Danny John Jules, he did a Viennese Waltz with Amy. They did I've Gotta Be Me by Sammy Davis Jr. It was fine. It was good. Very well scored. Very nice. And then Joe Sugg and Diane Buswell, who is totally the UK version of Sharna Burgess because they're both Australian. They both have this bright red hair, like fire engine red hair. And and they're fierce dancers too. They did a cha-cha-cha to Just Got Paid, and they were safe, but this is now where we're going to see where Joe's popularity, because everyone always talks about Joe Sugg and how he's got this huge YouTube following, and he's going to probably win the show because he's got that YouTube following. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen a full season of Strictly Come Dance. Excuse me. I've never seen a full season of Strictly Come Dancing, so I don't know exactly how that would work, but I definitely know that it would yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out, but we'll find out about that. We'll see about that. Then we have Vic Hope and Graziano. My friend Stephanie in Canada, she kills me. She is hilarious because she loves her some Graziano. Like, don't get me wrong, that's how I know her, is that we're both Steps fans. But she she loves her some Graziano. He's fine. You know, they did good. They did great. I give Vic Hope a lot of credit. You know, I think she's doing a really good job. Then we've got Lauren and AJ. Now in Lauren and AJ, they did a quick step to If You're Over Me. And here's the thing. I feel like I just don't feel, and I could be wrong with this. So this is just it's only my opinion. Um, I feel like AJ is not the best partner for her. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I feel like she needs a man like a Pasha or an Aliash or even a Kevin. Kevin is starting to get a little bit more diminutive as opposed to Pasha and Aliash, but they would be better for Lauren because I feel like because she just has one arm basically, but I mean like she's got a stump, like I'm not, she's got the top part, she's just missing her right forearm. So but it's when they do lifts, it's kind of like I feel like AJ isn't really choreographing lifts that she can do. You know what I mean? Like, those are things you need two arms for. So you need to come up with something else. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, whereas with Katie, it's like, okay, she's got those skin grafts and she can't have that large range of motion. But with Lauren, okay, she's missing a forearm, but I mean, like, remember, Amy Purdy, no feet, came in second place. Just saying. So I definitely think that she's not. I feel like AJ is kind of, and he's a great guy, really cute, great chef, But I just don't know if he is getting Lauren. You know what I mean? I feel like they might have given him a challenge that's above his head. So, Dr. Ranj, who kills me. You know what? I've got to say, out of everyone in Strictly Come Dancing, the one that probably is the most happy to be there is Dr. Ranj. Like, because, this is totally, the whole entertainment realm is completely out of his comfort zone because he's a full-on doctor. Like, he'll go work 8 hours in the ER and then come do the show. So it's impressive. It's really impressive. It's really great. But he does a really good job. Now, there are certain moments when you're like, okay, that's his lack of technique, but he does such a good job. He does such a good job. It's really impressive. I really like him a lot. Kate and Aliash. Okay, so this is what else I wanted to talk about last week when I was talking about last week. Kate and Aliash. So last week for movie night, they did Why Don't You Do Right from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And she was dressed up like Jessica Rabbit, and he was dressed up like Roger Rabbit, and it was actually really cute. But what I found interesting was that with her fire engine red hair, she looked like Diane Buswell. I was like, oh shit, that's not Diane, that's Kate. That's Kate Silverton. Which is funny because she's this big newscaster in England, and she looked like a pro dancer. I mean, she's doing such a good job dancing. She's great. I love her a lot. Graham Swan from cricket. He's a cricket player. He danced with Oti Mabuse, and they did good too. They did much better. They did much better this week. So these last 2 weeks, they've done really great. The week, I mean, that second week was kind of rough for a lot of people, I feel like. And they just knocked it out of the fucking park. They did so good. And that was pretty much it. And the obviously the highest ones on the leaderboard were Stacy and Kevin with 33. They have not used that 10 paddle yet in England. Now in America, someone got a perfect score. I think it might have been Milo and Whitney got a perfect score last week. And then this week, no, it wasn't. It wasn't a perfect score. He got, was it? Oh, God. Well, whatever. And then this week, he got a 10 from one of the judges. Might even have been Bruno. They gave him a 10. So, I don't know what next week is, if they have a theme next week. I don't know. I know that Faye is doing a foxtrot to, oh, you know what? I know what the, so here's another thing that's interesting. On Strictly Come Dancing, they haven't, like in America, we've kind of expanded the number of styles that you can do. So you can also do a jazz dance, you can do a contemporary dance, you can do a Bollywood dance, and you still can't really do any of that in England except this week. So that what they've started doing is they've started doing a couple's choice dance, so the couples can pick which form of dance they want to do, and they can either choose from contemporary, right? Then they also have street and commercial, which is kind of like hip hop. And then there's a jazz and theater, which is theatrical. So I'm curious to see what people choose, but whenever it's their turn to do couple's choice, from what I understand, not everyone does couple's choice all on the same week. So as opposed to being like a full-on themed night like it would be here in the United States, they spread it out throughout the season. So we'll see how that goes. I could swear I just heard a doorbell, and I'm in a hotel, so no one has a doorbell. I'm totally hearing shit. Okay. I haven't seen as much hate directed towards Shirley Ballas this week, thank goodness. I don't know why people are so anti her. I love her. I think she's great, and I love her commentary. I think she's fantastic. I mean, one time I felt it was a little bit out of line that she criticized Sean's hair and she didn't criticize Graziano. I was like, I don't even have a problem with the fact that she criticized his hair, but she didn't criticize the pro's hair, who just had the exact same hairdo. So I'd be like, okay, girl, you need to criticize them both. I mean, if you're going to criticize one, you need to criticize the other. I'm just saying. But I think she's phenomenal. I think she's great. She's doing a wonderful job. And you know, even though he's totally a fucking bitch, Craig Revel Horwood, I mean, he's just a tough cookie, that's all. Like, I feel like that's what Len used to be like back in the day, but now, at least here in America, but I feel like Len now is like a lot warmer and fuzzier. Now, he's still grumpy old Len compared to Carrie Ann and Bruno, but I feel like he's actually come quite a bit out of his shell and is a lot more friendly to and nice to the performers. So we'll see how that goes. I love me some Len. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's great. In fact, they had a poll this week on Facebook on one of the Strictly Come Dancing groups that I'm in, and they were asking, who do you think, which of the following 3 judges would you like to see come back? And the vast majority of people were like, we want Len back. Because it makes sense. I mean, Len is he's a great judge. He does a really good job. And I mean, and he's done that even before the show. Like, he was a ballroom judge. So he's able to give really good commentary, and it's enjoyable. I enjoy him quite a bit. I think he's fantastic. Okay, everyone. Well, thank you so much for logging on today. I do appreciate it. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Angel Benton. You can, if you want to check out this live stream, you can, I do it every Wednesday at 10 a.m.-ish. And 6 p.m. in the UK, so that we can discuss Dancing with the Stars and Strictly Come Dancing. All right, everyone, have a great day. Peace out. Wubba, wubba, wubba.